particularly White Raw, for instance, what he'll do is he'll select all of his workers, select, like in this case, there are 23 workers in Wrath's space working on minerals. He'll just select those bottom 7 on that list and transfer those down. So that is a good question. You can do it that way, or you can, there are many different ways you can do it.
Yeah, good question. And as you see, Wrath, he has the middle of the map, so he has the scouting information, and what he's doing is he, at a bronze level, you don't need to be super greedy. You see pros like Rhett. You see pros just building
3
like
bases,
60,
4
70
bases,
pros
yeah.
kind of deal, without building any units. At the bronze league, everything's so unpredictable. You really want to get down some spine crawls, some spore crawls.
Yep.
I really like Wrath, how he just spent around 300, 400 minerals getting anti-air defense. Because he's not going to be able to get into Man Bear Pig's base, so he doesn't know if like a bunch of Void Rays are coming. So being safe is better than being greedy.
Absolutely.
Especially since you can count on your opponent not having perfect macro. Because if he does, he's not going to be bronze, so.
Absolutely. That is actually a very good point, and I also like this play by Rest. This is good macro. Tech options, that's actually a really important part of macro as well. Always expanding tech options when you have more bases. Is always a good place to be. Perhaps a little bit out of topic, but nevertheless something I just wanted to comment on there. But we can already see, I'd like to point out, in the food count, RAS is quite a bit ahead. If we take a look at the worker count, it's 39 to 21, and if we also look at the income, that is a tremendous big difference right there.
Definitely.
Those
even though it's like double the income, even though it's not double the war cost, and that's what happens when you have 2 bases and you're mining more efficiently. Your income just like skyrockets, and its percentage value just doubles.
Absolutely. So. And that is why this game really does, unless you're trying to go for a rush play, like 6 pooling, forge, cheese attacks, and things like that. More workers is one of the foundations of play. That's why when you see like a lot of pro games, really good players, they don't really try and kill lots of army when they're doing like hit and runs. They're going for economy. They go to kill workers, which we'll see that in a later replay. One of the other replays that we're going to go over during the show, actually. So just bear with us for that. I just want to comment on that as well. Now, Man Bear Pig is getting up his own base now. Does he have a queue up on the workers? No, he has 1 going down. Okay, I just wanted to see if he had the queue still
he has been building some extra probes so he could mine those extra minerals. I think he built 5 extra before that Nexus went down, which is very good. I wanted to focus on a little bit of Man Bear Pig's production, even though he had to kill that 1 gateway, not that big of a deal. And really, 150 minerals, no biggie. Kept him safe in the early game from linger on buys. I say it's worth the investment, but yes, I want to notice his army strength. Just count the sheer number of units he has.
Yep.
He has 9 plus 8, so he has 17 fighting units. And 12 minutes and like 40 seconds into the game, he has 19, 20 fighting units, and he has 6 gateways.
Yep.
6 warp gates. Warp gates finish around 20 to 30 seconds, depending on which unit you make. A little known fact that if you build a Zealot,
it's 20.
The cooldown, the cooldown is going to be less.
Yeah, the average is about 30. Zealots do take a little bit less time, as Veritas was saying there. So take that into account. Like if you need like some quick attacks out there as Protoss, especially against Zerglings, that is one thing. We're not really going into unit counters yet, but Zealots.
Build Zealots.
Build Zealots if you're in need of base defense. Typically, especially against Zerg, unless they went. I don't know. Crap, I can't, unless they went Muta. How about that?
Yeah, Muta.
If they went Muta, don't go Zealot. That's just going to...
Go Stalkers.
Yeah, go Stalkers.
Yeah.
But apart from that, you really can't go wrong getting Zealots on the field.
But yeah, he got this warp gate restart around 8 minutes. And it's been 6 minutes since. So 6 minutes, let's say he can build 2 units per warp gate. So that's 12 units a minute he should be making.
Yep.
But he really only has 25 units right now. And it's been 6 minutes. He really should have around, let's say, 30 or 40 units. Now, probably a little bit less than that because he had to get down an expansion, build pylons and such. But still, if he wanted that much production, that's how many units he should have.
Yep.
So you can see that Man Bear Pig, even though
he has lots more production,
he
can't use it all.
Exactly.
Exactly what we were talking about before. Never build more production than you can use, but use all of your money with your production. If you want, that's perfect macro. You're always going to make mistakes, especially I still make mistakes on my macro. Sometimes I'll make 1 or 2 more gateways than I can afford to use, and then I just choose to expand. Typically, that's my meta game choice. Okay, I have too much production. Expand.
Yeah.
When in doubt, expand.
Yeah.
That is
especially if you're Terran, you can build like 5 command centers in your base and just float them around the map and just take all the expansions.
Yeah, and or call down mules and just mine out a base super fast. So mules super powerful, by the way. I think they're probably
use them.
Yeah, use mules, lots and lots of mules.
Yeah, and if you want to look in the main base of Rast, he just moved a ton of drones out of his main base.
Yep.
And that really hurt the efficiency of the main base production. But if you think of it this way, those minerals are going to be mined out eventually.
Yep.
And actually very soon. They have 100 or so minerals left. So it's actually a very good tactic to move your the majority of your mineral men to the freshest stockpile. Stockpile of minerals. Allergies, I'm telling you.
They kill you. They're murder.
I know. Golly.
Oh my!
I have something stuck in my throat. Go ahead. Take over real quick.
Yeah, it's all good, my friend. But one thing also, what he was talking about, it lessens the efficiency of the space, but he was saying it does mine out, and the efficiency is already decreasing then, and what this actually does is it increases the life expectancy out of the mining of this space. So basically, you're trimming it down, but you're going to allow that to last longer. So, for instance, maybe, let's say, in this case, I mean, we're going to ignore this attack by Rast at this point. This is cool to watch, but we're not even going to look at the battle. I actually, frankly, don't even want to look at the battle, because the battle at this point doesn't matter. But he's increasing the life expectancy. So let's say, hypothetically, Man Bear Pig did have a lot of units, and he was able to beat back that attack by Rast, and he came over and killed this gold expansion that Rast has up. Now, if Rast loses this base, he's down to 2 bases. He does have pretty good saturation on his natural, but if he loses just that gold, and has a little bit of extra money still left over in his main, he'll be able to survive a little bit longer, possibly get out some more units, and be able to come back and win it. And that's why you don't transfer all of them, but at the same point in time, you do want to transfer some of those out of the main. I think that that's something that's really important to clarify.
Especially when the minerals are low. That's the key point.
Yep. Especially when they're low, because if they're low, you just want to prolong them as long as possible. I mean, if we take a look at this base, actually, now the game's ended, we have, 185. We have, like, it looks to be almost 1,000 minerals left in this base, in the main, at the very end of this game. Now, we look at the drone count that's mining these minerals. We've got 11 workers, so that's what? So we'll just say it's 40 to make it nice, and then, so that's 400 minerals a minute, let's just say, for round numbers. And so in 3 minutes he'll have mined out the rest of the space, but 3 minutes of play. StarCraft is a game of seconds, not of minutes, so 3 minutes you could potentially push back the attack by Man Bear Pig if he had come on an attack, and also then get up another expansion with the 300 minerals you have left over, plus whatever you're mining from your natural, which has quite a bit of minerals left over. So that's why you really only want to transfer some of them.
Yeah, very good point. Also, tip/technique that you want to use for another one for this game, Septiel kind of alluded to it. He said, I don't even want to watch this battle. I want to look at the production. I want to look at the macro. That's exactly how you should play the game. I really honestly believe that bronze players through gold should never micro.
Absolutely.
Except in extreme, like if you're going Void Rays or something, you obviously want to pull your
Void Rays. Or
back.
Phoenixes, or very expensive, costly units.
Or if you're trying to attack up a ramp, you should probably...
Yeah, you should probably watch that.
Automatically up the ramp and stuff. But you should never, like, if you have 10 stalkers against 10 stalkers, you should never pull off a stalker and, like, put it back into battle to try to make it better. Just think of it this way. Say I'm playing Septiel, right? We both have 10 stalkers. We both have 4 gateways back at home. We're both, like, trying to forgate the junk out of each other.
And we both have also the exact same income, let's say, even to make this even more fair and even.
Everything's the same. We have the exact same amount of units. Say that Septiel really loves microing, and he's really good at it. Our 10 stalkers meet in the, like, just a plain battlefield, 100% like clean, no obstructions, no nothing. He micros, and he kills my 10 stalkers, and let's say he has 5 stalkers left, and they're all around, like, really low health. And their shields are regenerating, so they probably have about 90 to 100 health each.
Yep.
So say I have my 4 warp gates, and during the battle...
He's not even watching
I warp in those 4 extra stalkers, so I have 4 100% health stalkers fighting the 5 stalkers that won the battle. Because Septiel didn't have the multitasking abilities to micro and warp in units at the same time. So until you have the ability to micro really well and not skip a beat on your macro, don't micro at all. It's better to have 4 healthy stalkers than it is to have 5 unhealthy stalkers.
And the thing is, also, when you increase your macro abilities, your APM is going to go up, so you'll be able to do that micro eventually. And if you want to practice micro for in the instance like later on, when you get really good at your macro and can do that, actually one practice I've heard of doing is you go, what was it? Shattered Temple was based on another map in Season 1. What was it called?
Lost Temple.
The Lost Temple. What you do is, this is really good practice for macro micro. If you want to get good at this and you're at a higher level, don't worry about this again, as we said, until you get to like the platinum diamond level. Like, until you can literally do all of your macro and then have time for micro. Seriously, don't worry about micro, because it's, in the end, if you have more stuff on the battlefield,
you're going to win.
You're going to win. Just trust us on that fact. That is always going to be the case. So long as you have equivalent upgrades, I mean, upgrades can make a difference. And certain spells, I mean, like EMP can change a battlefield pretty quickly, or Psystorm, things like that. But with the exception of those sorts of things, literally, if you just have more stuff on the battlefield, you'll win, guaranteed. Where was I going with that?
Get more stuff.
Yeah, get more stuff. All right. Forget what I was trying to say there, but yeah. Object of that lesson, get more stuff.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead and pop into a PvP.
Yep.
I'm sure it's all your favorite matchups. It's mine. If you can hear the sarcasm dripping from my voice.
I was going to say, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you.
Yeah. But the PvP is really good at demonstrating aggressive builds, aggressive attacks, as well as having really, really good production. And really good economy. Because in a mirror matchup, if you have a better economy than your opponent, there's really no way you can really lose. You have the same units. It's not about unit composition, really. So, in PvP, TVT, ZVZ matchups, it's so important to have just a better economy. And that's,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why you see, like, interesting note about PvP on, like, the higher league play. Like, you're seeing PvP now comes down to 2 base play typically now, as opposed to 1 base play, which, frankly, I do appreciate. But as you said, it all comes down to more workers and more production, more economy. So exactly the same thing that we're talking about is exactly what is making the difference, even in the highest of leagues right now. So this very, very simple concept is still one of the most important things you can possibly talk about when talking about this game.
Yeah. Are you ready to go into the PvP set?
Absolutely. Okay. Ready? I'm at the 5-second mark.
Yep.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Once again, we've got our friend Funky Drew, who's going to be playing as the blue Protoss in the bottom right, and we've got Atonement, and he's going to be trying to pay it up in this game. I think that Funky Drew wins this game, if I'm not mistaken. So
yes, he does.
He is not going to be able to get the full price on this one, but.
There are some things that he did extremely wrong, and Atonement, he did. I honestly thought Atonement won this game.
Yeah, when I remember watching, I was like, no way.
He didn't really win this game, did he? But he eventually ends up winning it. So spoilers, I'm sorry, but this is important to learn from. So both players going, if you want to look at the production tab, both players going for basically the same build.
Yep.
For the same starting build, so everything's good there.
Yep.
9 pylon.
Standard play. Perfect play.
Directly after.
Yep.
Just a little bit less from Atonement. That's not that big of a deal, especially at this level of play. A couple of seconds off your probe count probably won't lose you the game at this level, because there's going to be much bigger overarching mistakes in your gameplay other than that.
Absolutely. And we're actually going to see Funky Drew go for Gateway, and we're actually going to see Atonement go for the chrono boosting. I would love actually to point that out, that at this point, we're going to take a look, I mean, with no chrono versus chrono on the worker production, Funky Drew now is going to be behind 3 workers within a very short time set here. And that's a big, big deal at this point in the game. If we look at the income tab, nearly a full 100 more minerals coming in for Atonement just from 2 workers. That's really, really big.
It's a big deal, especially in PvP, where 1 Zealot can really change the matchup. Now, Funky Drew did go for an 11 gateway, and his opponent, I believe, went for a 12 gateway. Yeah, he did. And that really should put him down economically just because he got